Chabad Lubavitch. They control everything you see, oh na na. You're given the illusion of having choice, but to them you are goyim, just cattle for the slaughter. In movies they portray them as Italians, but that's a big fact. Controlling the goyim with their battalions, bombing for retreat. Russian things so cool till you can't say it. The Holocaust celebrates system and they'll kill all your kids. They're killing children like ooh. I know it when I read it. The Talmud's where they get it. Sacrificing all you. You think that they are chosen? You have to know. Oh na 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 na. Chabad Lubavitch. Trafficking organs all around. Oh na na. Embedded in more politics all around. They want to genocide a white.
There can be no white race.
Jeffrey sex slaving little girls and pimping out. Flying on road leader air with the ruling class. Jumping on the Trump train with my yarmulke. Hey, I was picked up with them girls off thanks. Uncle Sam, here you go, get out of jail free. Had to pay a small fee, Donald Trump's my homie. Just like Hillary, and UK royalty, it's on TVT. I'll be chilling with it in DC. Ooh, been 6 slaves a week. I like the 6 million gods me. All I gotta do is claim PTSD.
Chabad Lubavitch. Half of my kidneys in a cooler, oh na na. He took it back to Israel, Mazel Tov, and sold it on the black market and got some shekels for it.
Thank you, friends. I now have the honor and distinct pleasure of introducing the man of the year, Mr. Felix Sater.
It's a kind of utopia, just the fact that the whole world will mix up with each other, that in, I don't know, 70, 80 years, there will be no white people anymore, and only cappuccino-colored people.
Look, that's the only way. This is the only solution.
Well, it goes back to the destiny thing. I mean, I made a bargain with it, you know, a long time ago, and I'm holding up my hand.
What was your bargain?
To get where I am now.
Should I ask who you made the bargain with?
with the chief commander.
On this earth?
And in this earth, and then in the world we can't see.
What a load of bullshit. It's unbelievable that these people, Alex Jones, Bongino, Pam Bondi, any of them, that they can literally, and that Indian dude, Kash Patel, whatever, FBI director, come on, that they can all now turn around and say, hey, the list didn't exist, you know, we were wrong, and oh yeah, Epstein killed himself. And not only that, but then Alex Jones can literally carry the water for Trump and this crazy authoritarian, totalitarian, tyrannical, right-wing, crazy cult Republican MAGA party, and say that, you know, Trump's doing us a favor. He's doing us a big solid here, guys. He's keeping America from crumbling. And we're going to be the ones with the keys to the pedo network and human trafficking and Mossad blackmail. What is he talking about? It's utterly ridiculous. It's utterly ridiculous what he is talking about when he says things like that. Like, what in the world are you talking about, Alex Jones? No. The same people that controlled those networks still control those networks and still leverage the people in those lists. Trump being one of them. That's why it'll never come out. Not only that, but many others in there. Yes, the prince and others. It is unreal. But for Alex Jones to sit here and prop up a sitting president when he was the one who told us in the early 2000s and late 90s not to support any party candidate because both sides of the playing field are rigged. And why? And now he is, supporting Trump since 2017. It's because they are both Zionist Jews working on behalf of the Mossad deep state controlling this country. We are occupied territory, just like Palestine. Trust and obey Yahweh, not man. Jerusalem will fall soon. It's prophecy.
The quote-unquote president, Donald Trump, that he's going to make America great again. He doesn't care about America, okay? He's a political puppet. He's a billionaire. His main concern is, and always has been, Israel. And I think he's made his point pretty clear recently when every single thing he promised, he did the exact opposite, right down to the Epstein files. Right down to the Epstein files. I mean, are you kidding me? I've got more pictures of Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein together with young women around than I do of my actual wife, my ex-wife, I'm sorry. It's ridiculous. And the fact that people still think that Donald Trump is somehow for America, you guys are seriously deluded. And if you want any country to be left at all whatsoever, you better wake up to that fact right here and right now. Donald Trump is one of them. Joe Biden was one of them. Joe Biden caused the problem that would allow Trump to give the reaction that people would, quote unquote, unelect him. Do you see what I'm saying? All he wanted to do was put troops on the ground, be able to have vans pull up and black bag people and take them away, period. That's just all there is to it. I don't know what else to tell you. And don't forget about this little nugget right here. A Texas city has required residents who are seeking government disaster relief funds in the wake of Hurricane Harvey to pledge not to boycott Israel. The city of Dickinson, about 30 miles south of Houston, posted grant applications for anyone seeking money for repairs after the Category 4 storm. Local officials say the pro-Israel cause is required under a Texas law enacted earlier this year. The application has drawn a strong rebuke from free speech activists. In the 4-page recovery aid application posted on the city's website, a section reads, "By executing this agreement below, the applicant verifies that the applicant does not boycott Israel and will not boycott Israel during the terms of this agreement." This provision stems from a law barring the state from entering a contract with any business unless it does not boycott Israel. Texas, America. Yeah. This isn't new information. This is old news, guys. This is old news. And you know, I hate talking about President Trump because voting isn't real. The left wing, the right wing are the same bird. And that bird is the enemy. And that bird runs all countries. The enemy, the war is them against humanity. Every single thing Trump said he was going to do, he didn't do. He gave $500 billion to the richest 1% on earth. He told us the drones were authorized. They were supposed to be there. He told us the Epstein files, JFK, all of these things would be open. And I told you before this, none of this would have happened. Instead, what he's done is he's passed laws that are favorable for Israel. He's threatened to literally deport American citizens on behalf of Israel. When do other countries pass laws that favor some other country? It doesn't make any sense because that's not what it's for. What I'm trying to tell you here is he's a puppet. He's in place right now to pull the agenda forward, and he surely is. And weather as a weapon is not some pie in the sky, quote-unquote conspiracy theory. This is all playing out, and it's playing out rapidly, and people need to understand this. I don't know how else to explain it. Every other country in the world openly discusses how they can control the weather, how they can make it rain or stop it from raining, so forth, so on, and blah, blah, blah. But let me tell you a little secret. We were the first ones to do it. Look up Operation Popeye on the History Channel. It's mainstream, where they literally flooded the Ho Chi Minh Trail using geoengineering, where they spray nanoparticulates out of the back of airplanes, which is something you can look up and watch them doing every single solitary day with your own two eyes. But sadly, Americans are so stupid that they don't believe their own eyes. They believe what the talking heads on the news tell them, when we happen to know for a fact the news is owned 100% by the elites, the same wealthy people that are perpetrating this. Because believe it or not, these assholes are looking for eternal life. And if they have to kill all of us to do it, they will. And they are. And they are. They're deforesting the earth right in front of us. They're polluting every single solitary river, stream, and ocean on earth. They've literally tricked people into using Monsanto on their own property, which has now caused it to be completely a killing field for anything that lives. The earth had an ecosystem that God put in place, and people have systematically killed off every bird, bee, butterfly, everything that we need to live, they've killed off. But that's okay. That's okay. Because Walmart, Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, they all have patents so that they can fix this after we're gone. These guys have literally taken the most simple word like photosynthesis. The sun causes plants to grow. People exhale carbon dioxide. Trees inhale carbon dioxide and make it into oxygen. But fortunately for us, Bill Gates has come along and completely flipped that on its head. And he's trying to show people that taking trees down, throwing them through a wood chipper, compacting them is now, quote unquote, photosynthesis. And people are lazy and dumb enough to believe it, because when they Google it, that's the answer they'll get.
When we think about climate change, we need to remove carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. The most efficient way to remove carbon dioxide from the atmosphere is to use photosynthesis. It's a natural process that's capturing CO2. Graphite is engaged in what is called durable carbon dioxide removal. And so what that means is we're preserving the carbon captured by plants, keeping it stored for 1,000 years. And we're doing it for the magic number of less than $100 a ton.
This is a ton, 40,000 tons per acre of land. Yeah, you're not going to get that any other way.
Yeah.
This human parasite has literally taken clear-cutting forests, clear-cutting them, turning them into wood-chipped particles, crushing them down into cubes and putting them in their deep underground military bunkers or their personal underground bunkers, because when you have all the money in the world because you've stolen it through vaccines, medications, television, Amazon, things of that nature, you've got enough money so you can protect yourself, so you think, from the inevitable, which happens to be prodding God. Yes, prodding God, okay? When your family's wealth comes from killing babies at abortion clinics, calling it Planned Parenthood, well, the next best thing would be, after you get rid of all the people, get rid of all the trees. They've already gotten rid of all the birds. They've gotten rid of all the bees. Everything's nest. These people control the weather. Look at their actions and tell me you can't figure this out for yourself. This is not an accident. None of this is an accident. They can and do control the weather. They're spraying heavy metal aerosols out of the back of airplanes over your heads every single solitary day. Some of us boomers remember when, I'm not a boomer, never mind, I'm a Gen X, whatever. Some of us remember when the sky was blue with fluffy clouds. There weren't airplanes spraying tic-tac-toe patterns in the sky every day whose ultimate goal was to literally block out the sun, which they do. They control the weather. They use NEXRAD and Doppler. It's not there to tell you what the forecast for the next day is. It's there to amplify, increase, and mess with the weather. And it works. It works. I mean, what more do you need to understand? These people are lying to you, all of them. They're running the national debt up like it's a contest. They're starting wars. They're making everything absolutely uneasy because they want to reset everything. It's called the Great Reset. The World Economic Forum has a YouTube video on it. I've shown it numerous times, and apparently I'm going to have to show it again. They're doing this by design. Trump is 100% in on the plan because they're all in on the plan. The ones that aren't on it are you and I.
Not too bright, folks. Not too fucking bright. But if you talk to one of them about this, if you isolate one of them, you sit them down rationally, and you talk to them about the low IQs and the dumb behavior and the bad decisions, right away they start talking about education. That's the big answer to everything. Education. They say we need more money for education. We need more books, more teachers, more classrooms, more schools. We need more testing for the kids. And you say to them, well, you know, we've tried all of that, and the kids still can't pass the test. They say, don't you worry about that. We're going to lower the passing grades. And that's what they do in a lot of these schools now. They lower the passing grades so more kids can pass. More kids pass, the school looks good, everybody's happy, the IQ of the country slips another 2 or 3 points, and pretty soon all you'll need to get into college is a fucking pencil. Got a pencil? Get the fuck in there, it's physics. Then everyone wonders why 17 other countries graduate more scientists than we do. Education! Politicians know that word, they use it on you. Politicians have traditionally hidden behind 3 things: the flag, the Bible, and children. No child left behind. No child left behind. Oh, really? Well, it wasn't long ago you were talking about giving kids a head start. Head start? Left behind? Someone's losing fucking ground here. But there's a reason. There's a reason. There's a reason for this. There's a reason education sucks, and it's the same reason that it will never, ever, ever be fixed. It's never going to get any better. Don't look for it. Be happy with what you got. Because the owners of this country don't want that. I'm talking about the real owners now. The real owners, the big wealthy business interests that control things and make all the important decisions. Forget the politicians. The politicians are put there to give you the idea that you have freedom of choice. You don't. You have no choice. You have owners. They own you. They own everything. They own all the important land. They own and control the corporations. They've long since bought and paid for the Senate, the Congress, the state houses, the city halls. They got the judges in their back pockets. And they own all the big media companies, so they control just about all of the news and information you get to hear. They got you by the balls. They spend billions of dollars every year lobbying to get what they want. Well, we know what they want. They want more for themselves and less for everybody else. But I'll tell you what they don't want. They don't want a population of citizens capable of critical thinking. They don't want well-informed, well-educated people capable of critical thinking. They're not interested in that. That doesn't help them. That's against their interest. That's right. They don't want people who are smart enough to sit around the kitchen table and figure out how badly they're getting fucked by a system that threw them overboard 30 fucking years ago. They don't want that. You know what they want? They want obedient workers. Obedient workers. People who are just smart enough to run the machines and do the paperwork, and just dumb enough to passively accept all these increasingly shittier jobs with the lower pay, the longer hours, the reduced benefits, the end of overtime, and the vanishing pension that disappears the minute you go to collect it. And now they're coming for your Social Security money. They want your fucking retirement money. They want it back so they can give it to their criminal friends on Wall Street. And you know something? They'll get it. They'll get it all from you sooner or later because they own this fucking place. It's a big club, and you ain't in it. You and I are not in the big club. And by the way, it's the same big club they use to beat you over the head with all day long when they tell you what to believe. All day long, beating you over the head in their media, telling you what to believe, what to think, and what to buy. The table is tilted, folks. The game is rigged. And nobody seems to notice. Nobody seems to care. Good, honest, hard-working people, white collar, blue collar, doesn't matter what color shirt you have on. Good, honest, hard-working people continue. These are people of modest means. Continue to elect these rich cocksuckers who don't give a fuck about them. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't care about you at all. At all. At all. Yeah. You know? And nobody seems to notice. Nobody seems to care. That's what the owners count on. The fact that Americans will probably remain willfully ignorant of the big red, white, and blue dick that's being jammed up their assholes every day. Because the owners of this country know the truth. It's called the American dream, because you have to be asleep to believe it.
And some of us have been trying to wake some of you up for almost 2 decades, and it just doesn't seem to be taking. At any rate, Richie from Boston, leave a comment below, or don't. I'm out.
super gay. But this guy says, I do not support Trump anymore. He's part of the deep state. I do not support Israel. He's committing genocide as we speak. Yeah, well, I'm glad people are waking up better late than never. But I mean, where were people in the first administration? It's like they forgot because they got distracted with that 4-year period, which was part of the agenda to bring in the Trojan horse, where he was getting arrested and getting a mugshot, and all this stuff was happening, and the January 6th stuff to push people to be pissed off so that he would release the January 6ers. Another one here, burning my MAGA hats, this guy says, as he lights his hats on fire. Again, all symbolic, but it's also symbolic of the end of an empire. I mean, this is all by design. It's about demoralizing society and bring society to its knees. You first have to do it from the inside out. And I saw the same thing with Obama. Our friend Carrie Wedler, who we've, of course, talked to many times. I've done a lot of events with her. Awesome person. She was famous for burning her Obama shirt. But keep in mind, that was like over 15 years ago. And it's so weird. I mean, look, I respect everyone waking up now, but like, where have people been this whole time? Mike Adams wrote, have you yet come to realize that no one of any significance is going to be prosecuted by the Trump administration? Not Brennan, not Comey, not Mayorkas, not Fauci, not the Biden family, no one. Amazing how gullible people have become now, believing the look squirrel announcement that Brennan and Comey are referred for possible prosecution. It's just a distraction from the Epstein files fiasco. Nothing will come of it. The rule of law is dead in America. We are witnessing the last chapter of a failed empire. I agree. And it was all by design. Jason Bassler wrote, then we told them that Epstein killed himself, had no clients, and gaslit them for continuing to talk about it. Showing J.D. Vance, Elon Musk, Trump, Schumer, Kamala, Obama, and Joe Biden all drinking beer and cheering in the meme, AI meme. Ben Shapiro, this complete scumbag, says, on a list of American priorities by the polls, the Epstein-Maxwell case comes in pretty close to zero. So again, well, he's covering for his Mossad handlers.
You remember Bill Barr, Attorney General, during his first term, not to be confused with Bill Burr. I get the names mixed up sometimes. Before Bill Barr's Attorney General days, he was with the CIA. Just kind of tuck that away. Bill Barr's father was a man named Donald Barr, who was the headmaster at a very prestigious school called the Dalton School. He wrote a book. It involved oligarchs and, let's just say, forcible mistreatment of minors. Imagine being a parent who's paying $67,000 a year and the headmaster comes out with this book. Guess who Donald Barr hired to be a math professor? No teaching experience whatsoever, nor a degree in math. But at 21 years old, he's given this position at a prestigious school. He didn't stay there long because he got kind of creepy on the young women. He'd go to parties with them and there were complaints. And he moved on to what, you may ask? Junior assistant to a trader. Within 4 years, was a partner at that firm. 4 years. That lasted about a year because of an SEC violation. So what did he do then? He moved to consulting work. Immediately, he had billionaires and governments that hired him. 2006, Epstein was charged with one of the charges involved 12-year-old triplet girls being flown in for his birthday party. Allegedly, these girls and others were brought in by a guy named Jean-Luc Bromel, was a scout or something for Epstein's modeling company called MC2. The U.S. attorney for the Southern District of Florida was a guy named Alexander Acosta. He offered Epstein this sweetheart deal that was insane. Leave for 12 hours a day, take walks on the beaches. When he was released on house arrest, house wasn't defined, so he could take jets to Manhattan. Leslie Wexner, Victoria's Secret guy, Abercrombie guy. Didn't take long for complaints to surface that Epstein was posing as a Victoria's Secret model recruiter. Didn't matter, Wexner still gave him control over all his money. When Trump nominated Acosta for the Secretary of Labor position, because of course he did, Acosta was grilled about this sweetheart deal. He went on record saying that he was told Epstein belonged to intelligence and that the entire issue was above his pay grade. In the 80s, Epstein frequently used a fake passport. An Australian passport said that he was a resident of Saudi Arabia. He used it to go to the UK, Spain, and Saudi Arabia.
Great ratings in your show.
Trump is surrounded by women as music blares in the background. After a while, Trump goes to greet 3 new guests. Among them, the financier Jeffrey Epstein. More than a decade before his guilty plea on state prostitution charges. Later in the footage, Trump is seen talking to Epstein and another man as women are dancing in front of them. Trump alternates between dancing and pointing out women to Epstein and the other man and telling Epstein about the cameras. Though exactly what they say is difficult to understand as they discuss the women and their appearances, Trump gestures to one and appears to say to Epstein, "Look at her back there. She's hot." And then Trump says something else into Epstein's ear that makes him double over with laughter.
Presidents don't have power. Government is organized crime. Taxation is theft. The same things I've been saying for 19 years, and people act like now, why is he coming out against Trump? Why am I coming out against Trump? I'm coming out against the establishment, which I've always come out against for the last 19 years, as I did with Bush, as I did with Obama, as I did with Trump, as I did with Biden, as I'm doing with Trump, as I will when all the mainstream alternative medias forget that they were going after Trump for all this insanity and the deep state and all this kind of stuff, and will then say, but J.D. Vance learned his lesson, so let's vote for him in 2028. Blatantly obvious how they're setting that up. Let's just paint J.D. Vance as a nice guy now, and that he's not the same as Trump, and he's going to actually take down the deep state. That's what they're going to say. And I hope people are ready for that psyop, because that's getting real close to 2030, where the agenda comes very close to its tipping point. Anyway, we do our best to get that information out there. We do our best to tell the truth and make sure that we hold people to account in mainstream and mainstream alternative media. Right now, I talk more about mainstream alternative media because no one watches mainstream media. Mainstream alternative medias are the new thing that everyone watches, and they are the ones that are, misleading people the most right now, because they're the new CNN, they're the new Anderson Cooper, they're the new one that manipulates the public into a new narrative to, we have one road that goes this way, that's the mainstream, and then we have the alternative media. It branches off and then it comes back together because all roads lead to Rome. And so we need to call that out so people don't fall for it. So we don't go in this perpetual circle, this Operation Mockingbird type circle.
I'm finally releasing the Epstein client list. Feast your eyes on this bad boy. Pam, who the is John Jonerstein? You've never heard of Johnny J? Oh my gosh. He's like a big time mover and shaker. He owns a chain of artisanal sock stores in Wisconsin. Real big perv. Next.
Bill Billerstein? Is that a typo?
No typo, sweetheart. Bill Billerstein runs a taxidermy empire out of a strip mall in Boise. He stuffed a squirrel and himself into some wild Epstein parties, if you catch my drift. Moving on.
Frank Frankenstein? Like the monster guy?
Oh my gosh, Peter, no, not the monster guy. Frank Frankenstein is an accountant from Jersey. He's a total creep. Allegedly, he uses abacus to calculate Epstein's private jet mileage. A real catch.
Welcome back to Jeopardy! Hillary, it's your turn. I'll take Ghislaine Maxwell for 500. In 2022, she became the first person to be convicted of trafficking children to nobody. Bill C.
Who's Ghislaine Maxwell?
Correct.
I'll take the Lolita Express for 200.
This plane had a pilot that flew nobody, nowhere. Bill C.
What is the Lolita Express?
Correct.
I'll take Epstein's client list for 200.
This popular client list has nobody's name on it. Hillary, what is Epstein's client list? Correct. I'll take Epstein Island for 200. This popular island was a vacation destination for almost everybody in politics in Hollywood. Bill C?
What is Epstein's?
Bill!
What is Gilligan's Island?
For the love of God, would you people arrest someone already? Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself. Not a chance. It's a cover-up. Yeah. Hillary and Bill Clinton were behind the whole thing. The whole thing. And the client list, stacked. Prince Andrew, Bill Gates, Bill Clinton, you name it. They're on it. Yep. The Clintons, they ran the whole show. I got names, dates, Go on. Go on with what? Yeah, you were saying how you had names, dates, flight logs. I don't remember saying that. Do you remember me saying that, Cash? No, I don't remember you saying that, Dan. Tell me more about how Epstein didn't kill himself. I don't know what you're talking about. Epstein killed himself. Yeah, he did. He did it all by himself. Yeah, nobody helped him. Jeez. But you just said he didn't kill himself. What? I think we're having like a Mandela effect moment here, Cash. Yeah, I think this reporter's having like a midlife crisis. Are you going through menopause? Or yeah, I mean, there's just no way me or Dan would ever say Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself. I mean, you must have misunderstood me. I was sitting right here. Yeah, I think what you heard was Jeffrey Epstein did kill himself. Yep, totally assumed. I mean, the guy just tied a bedsheet like a pro. He's good.
So the Epstein client list just dropped.
Yeah.
And it's
What about it?
well, it's a bunch of nobodies. I mean, John Jonerstein, Frank Frankenstein. What's going on here?
You're missing the point here. The Epstein list isn't some grand reveal. It's a cancer. You know, for peasants. A little distraction humor will let metastasize in the public's imagination.
I'm sorry. Cancer?
Precisely. I mean, it's not like we're out here trying to cure the client list, stupid. And we're definitely not out here chemoing the truth. We just tangle it like a sparkly carrot for all the rubes who've been clutching their pitchforks and chewing on decoder rings for years.
I'll take Jeffrey Epstein for 200. This popular prisoner did not kill himself. Bill G.
Who is Elvis?
No, that's not right. Bill C?
Who's Michael Jackson?
No, I'm sorry. Hillary? Who's Ray Liotta? No, the correct answer is, who is Jeffrey Epstein?
I've never heard of him. Yeah, first time I heard that name.
You learn something new every day.
Weird.
Wait, so you're saying it was a suicide and there was no conspiracy? Oh, yeah. Yep. I mean, totally. Super straightforward. I mean, Epstein was just really good at knives. It was like a Boy Scout. I mean, there was no foul play. No clients. And nothing to see. Case closed. Okay, but what about the client list? I mean, the media says there's arrests coming. The media? I mean, you gonna believe those liars? There's zero clients. I mean, like, the list is like basically a blank post-it. Yeah, I mean, named Clinton, Gates, and Prince Andrew. I didn't say that. I didn't hear him say that. Yeah, I mean, there's no clients? No, I mean, just it's like a myth, like Bigfoot or affordable gas. So there's nobody on the client list at all? Client list? I mean, it's like more like an empty grocery list. Ghislaine Maxwell was arrested for trafficking in 2020. Yeah, so, I mean, but how do you traffic with no clients? I don't know. It's like, it's like one of those weird phenomena. Yeah, like the Loch Ness Monster. Or like Bigfoot. Yeah. Well, that clears it up. Epstein did kill himself. Yep, 100%. Case closed. For the love of God, would you people arrest someone already?